children's playroom today, and I am about to decorate the playroom for Christmas. But before I do that, I want to have a bit of a organize and declutter and kind of walk around the playroom and think about the things that my kids are still playing with and which things we can let go, and also to help me get some ideas of what I might add to the playroom for Christmas. If you're new here, my name is Hannah. I am a single adoptive parent of 2 children. I have a 4, almost 5-year-old boy and an 18-month-old girl. We've lived in this house for about coming up to 4 years now. This room used to be my office, and almost 3 years ago I became a foster parent and had children placed in my home. I currently have my 2 children who I have adopted, and I decided to change this room from an office to a playroom because I wanted them to have their own space. I wanted this to be a flex space that can grow with them. I'm going to walk you around what we currently have set up here in the playroom, but this is very much a space that we rearrange periodically. I also want this to be a space where I can help teach, especially my son who's a bit older, teach him responsibility and to look after his things. The way I kind of operate the playroom is I helped design it and put the pieces of furniture in the spaces where they are currently. As you can see, we have a large closet here behind me, and I'm going to walk you through that. But basically, I purchased some baskets and categorized different types of toys in the baskets, and that is what is generally kept in the closet. And then we have some drawers where we keep puzzles and that kind of thing. The main areas of responsibility that my son currently has is each day he is responsible for making sure there are no toys left on the floor before we go to bed. That is one, to help him, teach him responsibility. That is also so that the robot vacuum can run at nighttime when it runs. And then thirdly, we now have a puppy, and he likes to take anything that belongs to the kids and take it out of the room, take it to his basket, and that becomes his treasure. And we have got teeth marks on a lot of, especially our wooden things like this from the kitchen, he loves. So to help alleviate that, my son's responsibility is to make sure everything is off the floor in terms of toys. And then the other part of his responsibility is to, as much as he can, keep the toys categorized in their baskets. I generally don't tidy up the toys anymore. I have transferred that responsibility onto him, and for the most part he does a really good job at keeping things somewhat organized. My purpose in making this video is just to show what it's like as an everyday normal parent who is trying to strike that balance of giving their child a welcoming space with toys to encourage play and imagination, teach them responsibility, but not burdening them with a ton of noise and clutter and overstimulation. My general purpose in having a YouTube channel is for this to very much be a judgment-free zone. Some people may look behind me, may look at this playroom and think this is overindulgent. Children don't need their own room. There's too many things in here. And some people may look at this and think this is too minimal, it's too neutral, you don't have enough things. And everybody is, entitled to form their own view. My hope in sharing this is you may get some ideas in how to organize your own playroom or your space where you have toys. I'm going to walk through what works for us, what isn't working so well for us, and then maybe talk about some possible ideas that I have for Christmas. And then if you have any ideas you want to share for what you're getting your children for Christmas, please put those in the comments. I really don't have an idea what I'm going to get the kids for Christmas yet this year, and we are in almost the end of the second week of November. So yeah, I really want to crack on with doing a bit of a reorganization here and a clean, because later this afternoon or this evening I want to put the Christmas tree in here and do some Christmas decorating. So with that being said, let's do a little walk around and I can kind of talk you through some of the items that my kids really enjoy and how they're using different toys, and some of the things that I have in here that I might rethink and perhaps they're not using very much anymore. So let's get started. The first space I wanted to go over is this right here. We purchased a nugget couch. I actually purchased this when I was still a foster parent but didn't have any children in the home. As I was looking at other playroom ideas, I thought this was a really versatile piece for children of like a whole variety of ages. It also serves kind of as our sofa in here. This room is a little bit awkwardly laid out in that we have doors on 2 walls and then windows on 2 walls. So it's a little bit, although it's a good sized space, it's a little bit of an awkward space to put furniture. And I've tried having a full-size sofa in here and it goes across both windows and it just tends to look too big for the space. So having a nugget couch in here has served as a really good like play tool and also a sofa because we do have a TV in here. So I bought this, like I said, this is the nugget couch, but there are other like off brands that do it. I know Costco do their own version, but it's great. It folds out. They love pushing the cushions around, stacking it up, building different shapes. So this has been a really, really good purchase. Highly, highly recommend some sort of building couch soft play like this. And the next thing I wanted to point out is this mat that I'm sat on. This is like a foam mat. It's double-sided, so it has a different print on the other side. I got this off Amazon and it folds up really neatly. We have 2 of these. We keep one in the living room and that often comes out. But this mat costs about $40. They use this every single day, multiple times a day. They use this for different purposes. They love to build forts with these. And this is one of their most used items. So this is definitely staying. We don't currently have a rug in here. It's something that I would like to add. I've recently thrown our old rug out because we got a puppy and that was a whole nother story. So right now we just have these play mats in here and we might add a rug at some point. But I would highly recommend having some sort of foam soft play mat. It's been a really good purchase. Okay, so moving over to this wall, we have the IKEA kitchen. This cost around $100. I built it myself. It was very easy. I actually enjoy putting pieces of furniture together, and this has been fantastic. I think having a kitchen is another item that is really good across a wide range of ages. As I'm thinking about things to put in the playroom, having that sort of longevity is one of the key factors. If it's a toy that is only gonna be suitable for 6 months to a year, I tend to avoid those kind of toys as much as possible. Jameson is almost 5. He came to live with me when he was about 2.5, and he has consistently played with this kitchen. I did purchase the wooden handles just for fun I think I also got those on Amazon. So I switched out like the plastic ones that came with the kitchen and bought these wooden ones. I think these cost like $10, but just for me, just for fun, to make it look cute. But this is used as a kitchen. It's used for all kinds of imaginative play, for storage. So I would highly recommend having some type of kitchen. And the IKEA one is really fantastic. We've really enjoyed it. Okay, moving over here. So we do have a TV in the playroom, and that's because this room used to be my office. And so I had it set up as an office/living space for me before I became a foster parent and had kids in the home. Jameson will have a little bit of TV time on Saturdays and Sundays. I've experimented quite a bit with different variations of TV time, and what works for us is doing no TV Monday to Friday on school days, and on Saturdays and Sundays, and then any days that he's not at school, we do up to an hour of TV time post nap or quiet time. And like I said, I've played around quite a bit with trying varying amounts of TV and different times of day, and doing a little bit of TV in the afternoon is what I have found works best for my child. So I have kept the TV in here, and when he does his TV time and has like cartoons on, I have also found that if he watches TV here in the playroom versus in the family room, he tends to get bored much quicker and want to come and join me or us in the family room. And so that has also worked pretty good. So for now, the TV is still in here. And then over here, we have a bit more storage. We have this little desk. This is also from IKEA. I think the chairs are really good. This table though is a little bit flimsy, I have to say. So I do have to remind Jameson to, be careful not to lean too much on the table. But this is, one little area where they can build things, do puzzles. Over here, we have this storage. This is another piece from IKEA. This video is not sponsored by IKEA, I promise. But it's just kind of one of my go-to places for especially anything storage. So this was actually part of my office, but I moved my desk that goes with this range. I've moved that upstairs, and this has stayed down here because it's just such a good piece of storage, particularly for puzzles, because there are quite a few shelves, but they are quite shallow. And so this is an area that I need to go through. See, there's just kind of random puzzle pieces, random toys and things that belong in other areas. So that's one of the things I wanted to go through. And then just another surface here to put things. Okay, moving over to this corner. On the wall, I've just hung some string so that we can display some artwork. One of the things I might add is another level to put more artwork up there. I want this to be kind of a space of encouraging creativity and having artwork that's made by them instead of purchased as much as possible. One thing that was really inexpensive, but such a cute way of decorating the playroom is, you can see up here, I have put these little pins and then these fairy lights that go all the way around the playroom. These lights cost, I think, $6 from Target. It took 2 strings of lights, so $12 to put these lights up. And it looks so cute at nighttime, especially now that we're going into end of fall and winter. It just makes the playroom look really welcoming and cozy. I can't wait to decorate. We're going to put a tree in here, decorate for Christmas. And we're going to put some lights in the window, and then this will be just a really sweet, cozy space. So yeah, definitely recommend putting some fairy lights in. Okay, so down here we have this whiteboard. I'm not quite sure where the pen is, but I need to dig that out. But yeah, just a space for them to write. And then this is kind of the main table that we have. This is quite a big size table. This has been in different areas of the room. We have at some point had it in the middle of the room. It's currently over here so that they can really use the floor a little bit more. And yeah, we don't tend to store things on here, but one of the reasons I wanted like a larger table in here was because I wanted Jameson to be able to build something and keep it built and it not be destroyed by the puppy or by baby sister. And so if he's building something out of Lego, then that'll tend to be put up here. Okay, over to this corner, we've got our little cozy giraffe. That's more, kind of more for aesthetic. They play with the giraffe a little bit. This is very much an unedited, unfiltered look at what the closet looks like. I have not done a clear out for probably 6 months. So as I explained, I purchased some baskets and categorized the toys, and for the most part Jameson was able to keep them up. Because it's been so long since I've done a little refresh organization in here, the toys have gotten quite jumbled up. So I think it needs some intervention by me to just get things reorganized again. But this closet has really, really good storage. It goes up super high. I tend to keep some like seasonal decor on that top shelf because it's really, it goes really high up. It's a good storage spot. And then on this next shelf down, this is also not accessible by Jameson. So if there are things up here that, that need my supervision, or sometimes toys might get misused. And so if the toys are kind of in time out for right now, then they'll be put on that shelf. And then Jameson has access to everything on down. These are the baskets that I get from IKEA. I really like these because you can see what is in them, but they have handles, so they're good and nice and easy for the kids to, well, for Jameson to be able to pick up and to put on the floor. And then I also have some of these baskets. I think these are from Target. These are really handy to categorize things. We've got some magnets in here. The other thing I like are these kind of, I'm not sure what they're made of, probably bamboo plates are really good for storage. Another basket here. And then I like these, I don't know if you can see, these wooden trays, also from IKEA. These are really good if if I have an activity for him or something that has pieces, to try and keep pieces together. And then these buckets here are fruits and vegetables belong with this, and then you coordinate the color with the label on the basket. And then going further down, this larger tub here is what was used to house the larger vehicles. That's one of my son's favorite toys, and as you can see, it's gotten jumbled up with all kinds of small toys, so I need to reorganize that. And then this is just a larger wooden box. And then there's a mat in here that it's like a play mat that has it has like roads and things on it. My son really likes that. He got that as a birthday present. So it looks somewhat sparse because things are quite jumbled, and there are also some toys kind of scattered throughout the house. And yeah, that is it for what the playroom currently looks like. Now I'm going to have a look and see what things are in here that Jameson is really enjoying playing with, and what are some things that we might be able to let go of. So up here we have Lincoln logs. Jameson got this for Christmas last year, and it was a little bit of a tricky present because he wasn't of an age where he was able to build anything out of the logs. And he would role play with the little wooden pieces and pretend that they were candy and all different things. And what ended up happening was there was small pieces of wood kind of scattered throughout the whole house. So that was one of the items that got sent to time out. We might try it again with that this year. Yeah, while it says 3+ on the tin, I think this is definitely one with supervision, especially if you have younger children or pets that may pick up the pieces and take them elsewhere. Over here we have a tub, and in here is some sort of sensory items, and this is a tub where I want to be supervising Jameson when he has it. So there is like some like kinetic sand, Play-Doh, things like that. He'll tend to bring this tub out and play with it on our dining table rather than in the playroom. So just so that I can make sure it's all cleaned up and put away and nothing goes in little sister's mouth and that kind of thing. I am a huge fan of Love Every play kits. I have done their subscription service for Jameson since he came into my home. So it has been over 2.5 years now. He has really enjoyed when those boxes come in the mail. Once he has kind of grown out of each box, I have gathered all the pieces up, cleaned everything and put them back in the box, and they have gone into a closet upstairs, and I'm keeping those for Sophia. So I have quite a collection of Love Every boxes upstairs. I tend to keep 2 to 3 boxes of things out at one time. I have started doing the subscription for Sophia since she was a baby. And so she has grown out of some of her sort of 12-month boxes. I have noticed that even though the boxes that I've received for her are for an age much younger than Jameson, he has really enjoyed playing with her toys as well. So what I'm thinking I might do is, instead of keeping all those things in their separate boxes, I may put more of those in this closet on display, and then kind of rotate them in and out just for a bit more variety of toys. This is one of Jameson's favorite toys. It's a puzzle. It's quite a tricky puzzle, but it's really colorful. He absolutely loves this one. And this is one of the rare items where all the pieces are intact and we've kept it. So yeah, definitely a hit, that one. So I'm gonna set the camera down. I'm gonna take everything out of this closet and give it a good clean, and then recategorize everything again. And then I'll go through the categories once I have done that. We are all done with the declutter and cleanup, and I'm going to walk you through what is staying in the playroom. So I've reorganized this closet here. So the top shelf is going to remain for storage for decor and things like that. We've been joined by one child and one puppy, so that's the background noise. And so the next shelf down is actually kind of the next two shelves are things that require some supervision based on how things have been played with in the past. So like I talked about before, the Lincoln logs, I do want to keep those. I think that's really good for like practicing building things, but it's something that when he wants to get it out, he typically likes to dump, a container of whatever it is on the floor, and then sisters and puppies take things away and it can end in tears. So that's something I really want Jameson to have, want him to play with, but just to let me know when he's ready to get that out so we can kind of do that together. And then here I've just got some of these plates in the tray as storage, a few delicate items. So this is a, couldn't think of the word, telescope. There's a piece missing. I think it got confiscated at some point, so I'll have to track that down. But I want to keep, again, it's something I want Jameson to have and play with, but it's something that needs some supervision so it doesn't get broken or taken by puppies or 1-year-olds. And then we've got some puzzles here that have some small pieces. These have caused some issues in the past, so I want him to play with those with supervision. And then the sensory container over there that we've talked about. Again, a really good toy and activity to have, but with some supervision. Okay, the next section up, these are typically things he has access to all the time, but I'm finding when there are multiple baskets of things or containers of things that have small pieces, they are getting jumbled up. So I'm going to have some of these baskets rotate in and out with the baskets on the bottom shelf, so we don't have all the little pieces out at the same time. So fruit, this is one of Teddy's, our puppy, one of his favorite things to take from Jameson, and that causes some arguments. And then here are the little animal figurines. Again, really good for creative play, but with supervision. I think I've got to go rescue something from a puppy over here. Okay, then we have a few, I don't know if you can see it, a few of the Love Every activities. These just have some delicate pieces, so I want to make sure that we keep these and we get those out together and play with them. And then over here on this side, these are some really nice puzzles. Jameson really enjoys playing with these puzzles. He gets frustrated when anyone else kind of interferes with the pieces, the baby sister and the puppy. So I want him, he might be able to reach these, but I want to make sure that we keep these intact. So I'm just keeping these upper shelf. And then I've got some clear space. So as I start to think about what we might get for Christmas, I'm not adding to a closet that's already full. We have some space. And then down here are the most used items right now. So magnet tiles are a huge hit. I might get some more magnet tiles for Christmas. Jameson really enjoys playing with these, so does Sophia, and Jameson has gotten really creative with them. So I think if we add perhaps another set, then he can build more elaborate structures. And then here are little and sort of smaller cars. Here are his Legos, he plays with these every day, and here are musical instruments. He goes through phases of enjoying playing with those. Down here is the playmat, and here are his larger vehicles. So now everything is a little more tidy and organized in that section. Over here on the table, I've kept this mostly clear. We've got one of these Love Every activities, so I put that on there, and then kept his artwork. Over here, I've just had a tidy up. All of these drawers are actually clear now. We had quite a few puzzles that had some pieces missing, or some of the sort of more sort of precious puzzles to Jameson I've put on a shelf, so that this now frees up this set of drawers. We might add some crafts to the mix this Christmas. And then over here is the kitchen that I just tidied up. We may, for Christmas, add some things for the kitchen. Teddy loves, we've just lost another utensil, because he absolutely loves to eat these. So that is that. And then, yeah, we've kept the floor pretty clear. One of the pain points I have when it comes to children's toys is how to store their books, because I find that when I have stored them here in the playroom, my 4-year-old especially likes to build ramps, use them as roads, and not treat books as books should be treated. So then I moved all the books upstairs, because we tend to do story time at night time or later in the afternoon, and I move them upstairs, and that has been tricky too. So if you have any suggestions of, if you have a 4-year-old, of how you store your books so that they have open access to them, then let me know. I'm going to quickly run you through kind of what I am getting rid of and why. So we have a few containers of things which are just odds and ends, just kind of pieces, random pieces of plastic that go with various toys. We have a block set with quite a few pieces missing, so those are going to go. This one is a tricky one, but I'm going to let it go. This is a Melissa and Doug board where you can do, it's like a daily calendar. You do the month, season, activities, what day it is, how warm it is, and then there's a whiteboard here, and it comes with all of these pieces that are magnets. But I have found that these pieces have become a bit of a problem. There are so many missing, and they tend to be used as, pretend candy and all different things. And so we don't have kind of all the pieces to do the days of the week and months and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to be letting that one go, which is kind of a bit of a sad one. In here, we've just got some like puzzle pieces that are missing, just some random pieces, some random cards, but there's only a few in a set, some puzzle pieces that have been nibbled on by Teddy. So those are going to go. This is an item that I just feel a bit nervous having in the playroom. It's a needle and thread kit that came in a Love Every kit, but this needle, it's not super sharp, but it's you can't really use this without it, and I just feel a bit nervous having that in the playroom. So so I'm going to let that one go. This is also part of a Love Every kit that we had. It is, I think, like a road system that you build with trees. Jameson is just not something that he reaches for, so I'm going to let that one go. Here we've got a puzzle set where I know there's lots of pieces missing. The box is broken, so that one's going to go. And then this is a large book. Like I said, Jameson likes to use books as ramps and roads for his vehicles, and so I've had to put the books upstairs in a different location and have a little more supervision with those. And then this one it's just been a bit trash and it's hard to store, so I'm going to let that one go. And then here's just a few things that just belong in other places. So these belong with other Love Every kits. This is something that goes with Sophia's toy. This is a fidget toy that goes in our road trip bag. And that is it. I'm just going to take you over here and show you. I have a separate area where I keep toys for Sophia because we often play in the living room. So that's just here, down here. It's a bit empty at the moment because I've had to put some toys slightly out of reach. But that is going to be another job I'm going to do. I've got a lot of them stored here. Is to go through her toys. All right, that's it for our playroom declutter and clean. When Jameson gets home, I think we are going to put Christmas decorations up in there. So I'll add that footage at the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed this and you found it helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave those too. But yeah, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.